once thought this was the best of times. The discovery of these relics granted humanity, for the first time, the power to rewrite the course of civilization. New energy sources, artificial intelligence, and cutting-edge technologies experienced explosive growth in just a few years. As if the future, originally belonging to the next century, had been abruptly brought to the present. Civilization raced forward at an unprecedented pace. However, the longer this golden age lasted, the clearer the cracks became. The relics did not bring balanced progress, but rather a technological leap compressed to its limits. The outbreak of the American Wars made nations realize for the first time that this power could directly translate into military superiority. From that moment on, the windows of understanding and verification between nations were rapidly closed. Information was no longer transparent, and power was no longer equitable. All nations were forced to continue moving forward in a state of uncertainty about the true intentions of others. Suspicion began to accumulate, eventually solidifying into the underlying logic of the new international order. The fragile balance maintained for years between Europe and Russia has finally slid into a full-blown confrontation. Across the ocean, the war between the United States and the South American Federation has not ended, but has instead evolved into a longer and more brutal war of attrition, aided by relic technology. In East Asia, the long-dormant specter of militarism has resurfaced in Japan. And in the Middle East, the deep involvement of mega-corporations has turned it into a battlefield of flames and ruins. People once believed that the relics would lead humanity into a new era, but no one told them. Every gift from fate already came with a hidden price. To prevent the world from spiraling completely out of control and into extremes, idealistic politicians and scholars from various countries, after multiple rounds of debate and compromise at the United Nations, finally reached a consensus. The TPC was established. Countries were required to relinquish some heritage reconstruction technologies, which would be centrally integrated by the TPC and prioritized for global public welfare and reconstruction. The long-standing monopoly of supercorporations over the mining and dormancy of heritage sites would also be brought under international oversight. Thus began a war without gunfire. No formal declaration of war, no fixed battlefield. Assassination, infiltration, capital maneuvering, media manipulation. Even before its formal establishment, the TPC already had its own agents, its own intelligence network, and its own martyrs. Someone simply for an organization that didn't yet exist, willingly sacrificed everything, even their lives. No one could truly control the situation. Yet, the TPC was born. Perhaps it didn't end the war, nor resolve all the world's conflicts. Nations still vie for interests. Capital still chases power. Suspicion persists, and conflict never ceases. But at least, in this era teetering on the brink of chaos, some are still willing to believe in another possibility. What truly sustains the TPC is not technology, nor force, but those who still believe in cooperation, in order, and in the future. And this is the meaning of the TPC's existence.